What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to another powerful edition of the Knicks and 10 show. Yeah, man, we got some things to discuss as the boys in orange and blue try to do what they do. And I honestly do believe that the numbers prove that the Knicks are real championship contenders. The championship is amongst our grasp, and we're right there. And we'll touch on some of the recent trends with this team. We'll touch on players, which players ascended, which players kind of took a dip, where we stand as a team, and we're going to unpack a lot on this episode of the Knicks and 10 show. Big time salute to everybody in the building. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan. And I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibe. Tell a friend that we live, man. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the show, man. Yeah, we got an action-packed show. And man, I'm just gonna let you guys know right now that this is one of the most important shows on YouTube. You know, it's definitely something that you might want to get a notepad and a pen. But before we get started, as we always do, you know, you gotta smash that like button. Very important to the algorithm that we get the likes up so we can let YouTube know that this is the place to be. And I'm still cooking with hot grease as always. And by the way, while you at it, you might as well subscribe, because we know in the last 28 days that well over 60+% of you guys are not subscribed. So subscribe now to help us close the gap. You watch, you subscribe. That's the rules. But by the way, check this out. Bam. We have certain giveaway milestones that we will be giving away this rookie Jalen Brunson trading card to one of our loyal subscribers as soon as we hit that mark. All you have to do is subscribe. No emails, no phone numbers, no janky contests. No, you just don't have to be from Brooklyn. All you got to do is subscribe. Big time salute to my man JJ in the building. I see you. How about my man Tugboat Taylor? By the way, big time salute to you, Tugboat Taylor, one of the MVP donors. JM3 in the building. All right, big time salute. So yeah, this is a very, very powerful show. It's my favorite show on YouTube. Before we commence and we jump into the PowerPoint, I do want to let you guys know a couple of things that I will be bringing back the blue and orange brunch tomorrow. And we got a game tomorrow. Brooklyn Nets. It felt like forever since the last game, but it is the Brooklyn Nets, so I will preview that. Unfortunately, I do think it'll be another win, and then we'll see how the game goes. We might do another where there's smoke, there's fire. Big time salute to college basketball. I know a lot of us is watching the college game, so you know, if your school, hopefully your school made it to the next round, as long as they don't face Duke. Duke Blue Devils had a scary game. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was a little spooky in the woods. But I wasn't that concerned because I knew that we'll pull it out. But it was interesting, and college basketball has been interesting, all right? And, you know, keep an eye out for some of these young prospects, because, you know, the Knicks do have potential, you know, lottery pick from the Wizards, potential, depending on the protections. And we have the 25th pick. So we could get one of these guys. So one of these guys you see shooting up, lighting up the NCAA tournament could be a New York Knick. Very possible. All right. So, bam, I'm going to jump into the PowerPoint. Oh, you know what? Before I get to the PowerPoint, if you guys do want to participate, because this show is not necessarily a call-in show, you guys can send in a super, and I will respond to your message in place of a call, okay? So all you have to do, send in a super, Cash App, whatever, and I will respond to your message because I'm cooking with hot grease. And bam, we about to get into this PowerPoint. So this is the Knicks in 10 show. Now we will be talking about exactly the last 10 games. All right. And those games are from, I think it was San Antonio. That's from San Antonio, that big time blowout win we had, all the way to Indiana. Those are the games we will be going over. All right. And this show is a show to really reflect on this team and find out where we are, to kind of predict where we're going. And sometimes we reflect to the past as well. Ooh, really quickly, let me get this, because I want to also touch on some of the last year's stats. And, I got all my stats in my file cabinet now, so usually I have them readily available. But like, hold on, let me show y'all something. See if I got it. Hold on, let me show y'all something. This is show you how on point I be, right? Take a look at this. This is what started the 82 Nights, by the way. See this right here? This is from 2023. See that? So I've been keeping notes from 2023, y'all. You feel me? So yeah, I'm on point. But I will be referencing last season somewhat, all right, during this presentation, just to see where we are, because a lot of you guys are concerned with our ranking this year as opposed to last year. So let me get back to the PowerPoint. Bam. All right. So these are some of the things that we're going to go through. We're going to go through a lot of team trends and rankings and stuff like that. We'll analyze a key standing stats, right? Certain individual stats, bad losses, good wins. What is the team identity? Does this team have an identity? Can the numbers show us the identity? We'll discuss that. Oh, my show is going on with my sound. Come on. Not with you guys, with the PowerPoint. It's saying that it's not hearing me. Hold on, let me go back. All right, so we just full screen. I usually have the notes, I kind of like the way the screen thing looks, but I just have to move my screen around, so it's all good. But all right, so these are the things we'll be analyzing with this presentation. All right, so I like to start off always reflecting on past moments, and we'll probably take a glimpse at 3 different periods. Why not? I'll throw last year in there as well. So this is from this season, 25-26, okay? And I'll move my camera out the way, put me up here somewhere. So this is what this is for. So this is from the last 10 game period that we reviewed. During this stretch, we were 6-4, right? I do think that this stretch wasn't as bad as it looked, but it was just very polarizing. We would have a good win, bad loss. Like, we beat Denver, then we lost to Detroit. Then we beat Boston, then we lose to Indiana. Then we beat the 76ers, then we lose to Detroit. Like, this was like a real up and down roller coaster. The good news from this stretch was that, we managed to be over 500, 6-4, thank goodness. But we also managed to bounce back and get some really good wins after tough losses. Okay, so now this is the period of time that we're going to be at. So games 61 through 70, like I said, it started with the San Antonio blowout. Big time salute to the boys in orange and blue for that. That was a big, big, big win. And one of the things because we continuously talk about last year's team. One of the things I want to share about last year's team is that last year, this team this was one of the rough stretches, if not the rough stretch on the season. The team went 4-6 last year, and the final record for this period was 44-26. 44-26. So we technically finished with a better record yet, but I'll get more into the record stuff. But last season, we had 2 bad losses to San Antonio. This is when they didn't have Wemby and they were below 500. And we also lost to Charlotte, the Charlotte Hornets, which is crazy. But the Charlotte Hornets are good this year. But, and we only had one good win at the time. It was Sacramento, who was teetering on 500. The Miami Heat was another interesting win, but they weren't 500 when we beat them last year. So, this is why we caught up to last year's record, last year's ranking. If we want to stay above the pace of what we did last year, all we have to do is win 7. That's 7 out of 5. Okay, 7 out of 5. So all we have to do literally is win 6 games. If we win 6 games the rest of the season, we will have a better record than we did last season. So this team should be better than last season record-wise. Now, I do think that this team this year has a lot of points, strong evidence and points that could point to this team being better than last year's team. All right? So, but this year around, we beat San Antonio. No bad losses. And you could argue that this is probably the second best stretch of the season. All right. The best stretch of the season was when we won the Cup. We went 8-2. But this stretch, honestly, it's arguably the second best stretch of the season. And for me, it confirmed that this team is qualified to compete for a championship. All right, and I'm going to tell you why. But the 3 good wins, no bad losses. And, just I felt like just total dominance on the defensive side of the basketball, doubling down on, the crack in the armor I felt against the Los Angeles Clippers that, it happened in the middle of the stretch. I think the defense continued, even though Utah had a strong stretch. It picked up in the second half of Utah, and we went back to holding teams sub their scoring average. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay. Now, I could spend all day on the standings. To me, the standings are like very important, not just for the wins and losses. Of course, the wins and losses are the things that we care about a lot, are the things that we care about the most. Let me just minimize this really quickly. Okay, can y'all? Let me see something. All right, I'm just going to take me out for now. Let me get rid of me. No camera for a second. All right, so y'all could see. I know the title says 40. Hold on, let me fix that. Let me get 2 seconds. 2 seconds, I'm gonna correct that. This is the correct information. It's just the title wasn't correct. I'm gonna change that in real time. All right, so bam. So so we can see it. All right, bet. So this is the current stretch of time that we're looking at, and I'm gonna compare it to last year in a second. Right now, some things about this slide here that is very important. One, the most important thing to me is the playoff races, right? Of course, right now, because everything is crucial and we're in some serious territory. And right now we are trying to compete for a playoff spot. And getting the highest ranking that we possibly can. Now, some of you guys think that, we could finish anywhere and it doesn't matter. No, that's cap. That's cap. You want to win as many games as you can. All right, some important things to distinguish from last time around. Last time around, we looked at this. We were in 3rd place, a game and a half behind Boston. Now we're a game behind Boston. Last year, the separation was so big, we had no chance of getting the 2nd seed. This year, the 2nd seed is in our grasp. Our point differential has increased 0.7. Y'all know that's where I'm going. I'm looking at point differential. So our point differential increased 0.7, while Detroit has dropped 0.3 and Boston has dropped 0.3. What does that tell me? Well, I'm going to start with us first, and then I'm going to get to the other teams, the ops, so to speak. But what this tells me is that this Knicks team still isn't done growing. Now, we do got a rough patch coming up with OKC, Houston, and who else? Is that OKC, Houston? I'm going to tell you. We do got a rough stretch coming. Right, but this is a team that went 500 during this stretch against those good teams. That's why we went 3-3. So we got OKC, we got Houston, and we got Boston. All right, that's the next tough games we have. I think we could easily go 2-1. I think we could win at least 2 of those games. In fact, I'm very confident that we could win at least 2 of those games. But the reason why I'm bringing this out and going through this is because, and this is just a prediction. Now we got news on Cade Cunningham, right? That he's going to be out for an undisclosed period of time. He's dealing with a collapsed lung, unfortunately. I feel bad for Cade because he was definitely pushing to make his case for MVP this season. But unfortunately, he's under the 65 game minimum. So if he does not play another game this season, he will not be eligible to win awards. Now, how does that impact the Pistons as a unit? I know they were in a good game just now against the Wizards. And okay, so they're on the verge of beating the Wizards, so they will secure their 50th win of the season. But how will they go about getting wins in the future against better competition? That all of these things remain to be seen. All right, all of these things remain to be seen. But because Cade's absence, I think that I could strongly make this. I was actually prepared to make this prediction before Cade went down. But I think that their differential, I think this is the ceiling. I don't think Detroit gets past plus 7.5 for the rest of the season. I think this is the ceiling. And in fact, I predict the differential dropping. I think the differential drops. As far as Boston, I also believe that this is their ceiling as well. They have a very difficult schedule. I'm not saying that's the only reason why. But consistently, I've been tracking differential the entire season. I think 7.5 is the highest they've been. I'll quickly do a little quick scan and stat check. But I think the 7.5 has kind of been the ceiling for them. And I've been looking to see them break that. Last time we did a show, they were 0.71, plus 7.1. The show before that, they were plus 6.5. The show before that, they were plus 7. I'm sorry, plus 6.4, my fault. And then the show before that, yes, I tracked this the entire season. For the record, I do. And then the show before that, they were a plus 4. All right. So I don't think Boston goes any higher than that. They haven't shown me any reasoning why they can get higher. Now, as far as us, our differential was as high as 9.1 at one point in time. We're the only team in the Eastern Conference that have a differential that high. No other team cracked the 9 mark. Boston never got to 7, and I don't think Detroit ever got to 8. So I think that we actually can add to the differential. By the time we do the next show, one of my predictions is that we will be plus 7 in differential. Now, people, they don't understand differential. Why is this so important? It's a stat that separates the boys from the men. I keep telling you, the teams with the best differential usually hover around the top. All right. And that's what you're seeing in the Eastern Conference. The 4 best teams with the 4 best differential are at the top. And then it didn't start that way. Cleveland has been climbing steadily to get to the 4th seed where they seem to have parked comfortably. Right. Same thing with the Celtics, who started off in the bottom, 7 through 10 tier, and they worked their way up. Detroit and the Knicks have been amongst the top teams damn near all year. The Knicks have been in the top 4, 5, 3, but the Knicks have been in the top 3 for like 30, 40 games now. So I don't really see us slipping. I see us continuing to grow. Another cool milestone during this stretch in standings is that we also went plus 500 on the road. Okay. The last time we looked at this, I think we were within the game. Hold on, I'm going to tell you. All right. The last time we did this show. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So the last time is when we just cracked that mark. We were 15 and 14. But now we're 3 games above 500. And I think that will continue because our next game against a tough opponent is Oklahoma City. We do go to Charlotte, who's playing better. But Charlotte is I think that's New York food. I really do. As far as Houston, that's an interesting matchup. They're going to be looking for revenge against us, but we're doing really good against the Western Conference this season. So, our record is 12-7. So we've been doing really good against the Western Conference this season. So I'm confident that we'll continue to have success going up against Houston. I don't think they're scared. I think they play too slow and doofy. All right. Now I'm gonna continue hitting some more slides, but I definitely need you guys to help me continue to get the likes up. Very important to the algorithm. All right. Continue to smash that like button. Big time salute to my man Zach in the building. All right. HIM the Great in the building. Yep. I see you. Let's get that 2C. Big time salute, man. Continue to smash that like button. I see all of y'all, man. I appreciate the supporters. And yeah, I'm going to continue cooking, but continue to smash that like button as you watch this video. All right. So let me get back into it. PowerPoint. Bam. All right. So that's the standings. I'm going to keep it moving. As far as the rankings here are concerned, everything you see in yellow is good. Okay. This defensive rebounding percentage is a mistake down here. That's actually a positive stat. So anything you see in yellow is good. All right. Anything that's circled in green means that there was an improvement. Anything that you see that is circled in red, that means that something fell off. Oh, I could have just stayed right there. Hold on, I'm sorry. Could have just stayed right there. Hold on. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Yeah, I could just stay right here. Bam. All right. So I want to go over a couple of these things. This is the overall rankings. And remember, I'm tracking the change over time. And I actually have the last 10 game stats for these as well. Now, some of these items, hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm in the wrong section. All right, cool. So some of these items are really telling as to where the Knicks are. One of the things I do got to give the Knicks a big time salute in is the 2-point shot. All right, big time salute. Now, they're still not in the top 10, but there has been a significant effort to take more 2-point shots. All right, last time we looked at them, they were just above 51. They were below 51, just below. Now they're above 51. They're getting more 2-point shots, right? Same thing with 2 points attempts. They're about +5 more. If you look at it overall, these are just the overall numbers, but they have been making an effort to shoot more 2-point. It's very important to me to see that, the growth in the 2-point shot. They're even shooting at a higher percentage. They moved up to 55%. This is something I would like to see going into the postseason, because when we get into the playoffs, it's going to get real, man. Like, seriously. Like, it's going to get real. You can't rely on just shooting so many damn threes. Like, seriously. Like, the 3-ball is cool. I love it. But you can't rely on just the 3-ball. Now, we are shooting great from 3. In the last 10 games, we're shooting, well, not the greatest, but 35%, 35.5%. Not the greatest at all. But I will say this, the 3-ball, when we do shoot it well, we are very, very good and hard to beat. I'm going to show y'all why I say that a little bit later. Right? So, but we still hadn't really dropped. So the shooting the 35% from 3, we still maintain our top 4 3-point ranking. All right. Now, the 3-ball has been coming down slightly. In the last 10 games, we attempt 12.8 threes, down from the 14.6 you see on the screen there. All right. And in terms of attempts, we're down to 36.1, which is a -3. So the three ball has been coming less threes. Now I know a lot of y'all are hearing that, but I'm not making it a big deal because our ranking is pretty much the same. But I don't like the fact you're shooting less threes and not shooting a better percentage. What's going on there? Hopefully the inclusion of Jordan Clarkson into the lineup can help. But I don't know. That's just a red flag to me. As far as the rebounds are concerned, the reason why I have the question mark there is because prior to this stretch, we have been struggling on the offensive glass. Prior to this stretch. In recent games, I think the poor three-point shooting has a lot to do with that. Our rebounding on the offensive end has gone up. So as the shooting has gone down for 3 points, not overall, but I'm just talking about the three ball. Ever since that has gone down, okay, our offensive rebounding has gone up. And we maintain. In fact, in the last 10 games, we're averaging 13.5 offensive rebounds. So we're back on the glass, which is great. And we're one of the most dominant teams in basketball. Our defensive rebounding percentage is a 72. Our offensive rebounding percentage is 29.4. Damn near 30%. 70+% defensive rebounding, you're amongst the elite rebounders. You're talking about 30% offensive rebounds, you're among the elite rebounders. Facts. And so in the last 10 games, our offensive rebounding percentage has been 32.7%. That's phenomenal, man. Like Mitchell Robinson and the boys have been giving us incredible impact on the glass. So I take that. See, when I'm looking at these numbers, right? It's not about numbers. It's about, it tells a story as to what's going on. And you could see the patterns and you could see things emerging. Now, the only demerit I would say from the New York Knicks is the free throw shooting. We don't shoot enough. 17 free throws a game, 17 makes a game is not enough. 21.6 attempts from the line is not enough. We have good success when we get to the line. Now, I'm not saying the free throw is the end-all, be-all for us. But I just want to close this out. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Hold on, I want to go into the 82 Nights Club because I'm going to pull up the free throw record in a second. I'm getting so many damn notifications about March Madness. It's crazy right now. All right, let me see something. It's like all day. So let me jump into the free throws. So anytime the Knicks shoot greater than 21.7 attempts from the line. Now, that's the league average. That's why I use that number, by the way, for the record. We are 26-13. So we're getting it done without having to shoot free throws. And when we shoot more than that, we're 19-12. So the free throws haven't really been costing us. But still, I still think that, getting more easy buckets will help from the line. But the free throw line hasn't really cost us. I don't know why. It's just something that doesn't impact us negatively. And it's been like that all season. I've been tracking it. All right. Turnovers, we're fine. I'm not really worried about the turnovers. Even though in the last 10, we averaged 14.4. We usually do a great job of handling the basketball pretty well. The assists are pretty much where it's at. But in the last 10 games, we are averaging 29.9 assists a game. Yeah. That's with the ball hog, Jalen Brunson, who hogs the ball. That's what they say about Jalen Brunson. All he does is he dribbles, and he doesn't pass. Now, one of the reasons why I think that we are a championship team and I think that we could win the championship is this. The defense is phenomenal. Like, seriously, it's night and day to where it was. Forget last year. To where it was earlier in the season. Like, I'm gonna tell you how phenomenal the defense is. Earlier in the season, we were a 14th ranked defense. We have gone all the way up to 6. A big time jump. When we last did this same show, all right, we were a 9th ranked defense. The defense had been crawling up. And now, overall, we're a 6th ranked defense. And honestly, we are 1 out of 3 teams to be top 6 in offense and defense. That's Boston, Spurs, us. That is a championship pedigree to be a part of. Very, very crucial. Very, very important to maintain that top 10 defense. I think that we are already a top 10 defense. Now, I did say we do got a big problem. And the reason why I said that is because, Jordan Clarkson in the line. As a matter of fact, hold on really quickly. I'm going to pull up something on the back end that kind of concerns me about the recent lineup change where Mo Diawara is being taken out the lineup for Jordan Clarkson. I don't really understand why that has to be the shift. It really doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. But for whatever reason, this is the change that they want to make. This is the change that they want to make. By the way, I saw that Chris Dad. He said, "Don't worry about the free throws, bitch." Oh Lord, I didn't mean to empower the Mitchettes with that free throws. Remember, the free throws wasn't percentage; it was just attempts. Percentage, maybe I'll keep track of that next time. I wasn't keeping track of percentage, but I could. But when I say we have a big problem, I'm talking about it's the size that helps the rotation on defense. So now you don't have to help with so many different cross matches when you've got these small little lineups out there. I don't want to see Sham at the 4. I don't want to see Clarkson at the 3. Like, it's just certain lineups that I'm fearful of that, Mike Brown may run. And we have to be careful of that because we can't afford to be backsliding on defense heading into the postseason. When I'm pulling up right now, I'm trying to pull up the box score for the games. Hold on. Because each game has a ranking. So I just wanted to pull that up. Let me go to teams. Go to Knicks. And we can't afford to see any slippage. I repeat, we can't afford to see any slippage in our defense heading into the postseason. So that's why I'm a little concerned. All right, let me see. I think I'm in the right place right now. All right. So against Indiana, our defensive rating right now, 113. So against Golden State, our defensive rating was a 116.3. Against Utah, it was a 118.2. Against the Clippers, it was a 124.8. All right. Our defensive rating is a 113. In the last 10 games, overall, our defensive rating is 111.9. So these last 4 out of 5 games, our defensive rating is a lot higher than it needs to be. And I'm noticing that trend. This is what I do. That's why I'm Stat Master Miyagi. We have to watch that slippage. It started with the Clippers. It really started with the Clippers. Then we did good in the second half against Utah. Did great against the Indiana the first time. Then had some slippage against Golden State and Indiana. But I don't know. I don't like the Mo Diawara for Clarkson, y'all. I really don't. It worries me a little bit. Let me see if there's anything else. Talked about the 2-pointers. The 3-point defense is a lot better percentage-wise. 30. We only giving up 35.8. That puts us at middle of the pack. I could tell you what we're doing in the last 10 opponents. Do I got that? I don't got the last 10 opponents. But you know what I could give you? I could give you this. You know what? I'm going to talk about opponent threes later. I'll save it for that. I'm going to get to that. Don't worry about it. I'm definitely going to get to that. All right. Oh, I'm forgetting the major detail. Damn, I'm forgetting a major detail. So, one, I have to give a big credit to the Knicks defense once again. The opponent points. Phenomenal. The opponent points is where we are really killing it, man. We're giving up 110 points, 0.6 per game. That puts us at 5th in the league. That right there boosted us up the most. Is the opponent points. We've been doing a great job holding our opponents to lower scoring totals, thus slowing down the pace. I mean, we're definitely playing at a slow pace, right? I'm not sure if that's what Mike Brown wants, but it is what it is. But I don't care whether it's slow pace or not. We're doing the damn thing, if you ask me. But the opponent points is something else that is vital. And I think we good. Third rank offense, we know that. I'm going to keep it pushing. All right. So now we go get into some real fun stuff. All right. Continue to smash that like button, y'all. All right. Continue to smash that like button. Now we're going to get into some individual plus lineup stuff now. All right. So we're going to start with my man Brunson and Towns. Okay. Brunson and Towns. Now, these two have a very, very interesting dynamic with this team. Let me move me out the way. I don't like that. I'm blocking Towns' head. Hold on. Let me get me up out of there. I'm blocking Towns' head. You just put me right here for now. All right? Bet. So, in the last 10 games that we measured before this, Bodega Cat and Brunson was 14-8 when they scored 20 or more. Okay? What has happened since that time? They pretty much went 2-2. Okay? Now they're 16-10. When they get under that mark, okay, they were 22-8 the last time we looked at this. Now they're up to 25-9. All right. So pretty much they went 3-1 when they get under 20. That to me is interesting, right? So they had more success when they both scored under 20 points. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird. Usually you would want your two players to perform better together. But this Knicks team, and I kind of talked about this earlier on the Blue and Orange Brunch when I talked about Josh Hart filling in for Brunson. It just seems like this team, we have a system under Mike Brown where guys kind of fill in the gaps, right? So only 26 times out of the 70 games did Brunson and Towns score 20 or more together. And clearly there's more success when they don't score together. Oh, by the way, they're a -2 + 9, right? They went 5-3 together. And in 21.4 minutes. That's a -10 + 3 because last time we checked, they were a +7.4. So that's a -10.3 in the last 8 games since we saw them. I don't really know what to make of this. this is the worst plus minus we've seen since that losing streak where we went 4-6 during that Knicks and 10 show, and they were a minus 4.8. So they're a minus 2.9, but the Knicks continue to thrive. This is another reason why I think that, we have great championship potential. I think that we have enough of the other guys' production on both defense and offense to supplement when one of these guys don't show up. But this is one of the most interesting things I've seen with these guys. Let me see if I can give you some more on this, right? Hold on. Let me get back into the club. This is like, I don't know how to really, maybe it's just a stretch, but we've seen this all year though in terms of the 20-point ball. But the minus, 4 and all of that is like, how are we thriving? They both missed a game. So they played 8 games together because they both missed a game, right? So Towns, he has reached the 20-point mark 4 times in the last 9 games. Brunson missed the 20-point mark 2 times, all right, in the last 9 games. Now, in 4 of those instances, or 6 of those instances, if you combine them together, where Brunson and Towns failed to reach 20, it happened in 6 different games. Hold on, let's work it out. The 2 games Brunson didn't score 20, right? Let me make sure I get it. Oh, no. Okay, I got it. So the 2 times Brunson didn't score 20 points, Towns also didn't score 20. I got it. I see how it works out. My thing is, what I'm trying to figure out is, why aren't they having more success when they score 20 together? I don't know. That's a Mike Brown question right there. But the last time, all right, I'm going to give you the games. So when they both didn't score the 20 together, this was Oklahoma City and Denver. 2 other games, Towns didn't score 20, but Brunson got his 20. All right, so if you do the math on that, they played together 9 times. 5 games, they scored 20 together. Okay, 4 games, they didn't get to the 20. And they were more successful when they didn't get to the 20. I don't know, man. Tough call. I'm going to keep it pushing, though. All right, that's a Mike Brown question. I'm going to stick to Brunson right now. Once again, a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't like Brunson. They think that his dad is ruining the team. He takes too much shots. It's the craziest thing. This is the guy who is the reason why you have the team that you have, because of his sacrifice. But no one seems to care about that. They got on Brunson to the point where his scoring is down. Is he really trying to entertain us? And what we think Brunson should do? If he is doing that, he needs to stop. Play your goddamn game. So in the last 20, the last time we looked at this, Brunson was 30 and 15. Okay, the growth is consistent. Anytime Brunson scores 20 or more during this last 10 game stretch, the Knicks are 7-2. Okay, so the one game they lost, the one game they lost where he didn't score 20. The one game where he didn't score 20, they lost, right? So him scoring is very vital to this team. He also had a 30-plus game, a 30-point game. Last time we looked at the 30-point, he was 15-7, and they won that game when he scored 30. So his impact when he scores 30 plus is 16-7 And when he gets under 30, the Knicks are 15-9. So clearly, and I got to check that under 30 stat. Because it's probably more. But forget the under 30 for now. Look at the 30 plus. That's what's most important. 16-7 when he gets to 30 plus. So we need Brunson to be Brunson. Not to score 30 every game, but if he does have to score 30, it's not hurting the team. That's the only reason why I got that up there. I'm going to keep it pushing. Because I want to move to playmaking now. So when we look at the playmaking stat, and before I get there, I do see my man Tugboat Taylor on the donation. Let me see. He said, how much do you think epidemics of sports oh, damn, you going there, Tugboat? How much do you think epidemics of sports gambling influences the game, especially within the fan base as wide as the NYK? You know what? I don't think the star players are doing it. I'm keeping it real. I don't think the star players are involved in this. I think a lot of the players that are doing this are the people who have bad money habits. They got a lot of like money issues. They're desperate and they find themselves in compromising positions. I think you got to look at the officials. We've never seen no officials caught up in those scandals. We've never seen that before. But we got to keep that in mind as well. You know, anybody who's not making the serious bag, they got a lot to gain from this stuff. Because, you know, power corrupts. Absolute power absolutely corrupts. So I do think that there is an influence on the game by the people who are involved, who are not making the big end of the pie. I do believe that. And there's nothing that you could do about it because, you know, FanDuel's already making too much money. It's too late to regulate it. So that's my take on that, Tubbo. By the way, I do appreciate you. And by the way, if you didn't smash the like button, smash that like button so we can get some more people in the building. This is the Knicks in 10 show. All right. And we're talking about a lot. Big time to my man Randu in the building. And yes, I'm still cooking with hot grease. Yeah, Jalen Brunson. I'm gonna get that stat too. I'm working on that right now on the under 30 points. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna get that, but continue to smash that like button. Very important to the algorithm that we get the likes up and we continue. But Tugboat, I do think it plays a role, man. And I think more people are involved. And I feel like they're gonna crack down and catch more people doing this, because you putting people, or not you're putting them, rather they're in a desperate situation. A lot of these people, you know, like I said, when you look at, and I'm not saying none of these guys are guilty, but a lot of these guys who get caught up, they get caught into a lot of type of shady business dealings. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Hold on, I'm getting his numbers right now on the 30 ball from Brunson, because this is not a stat that I keep track of. I only do it for the show because I'm monitoring Jalen Brunson's playmaking, because a lot of people say that Jalen Brunson shoots too much. So I'm trying to see if it negatively impacts the team. That's what my goal is. All right, so. All right, let me just make sure. Okay, I got the 7. Hold on. All right, I got that. All right, cool. So now I'm getting the other number, y'all. So I said 15-7. Let me go back really quick. So I said 16-7, right? When he gets more than 30. So let me give you the flip side. So on the flip side, when he gets less than 30 points, 14, carry that over. So that's 27. So 27 and 14. That's the record. 27 and 14. No difference. Write that down. 24 and 17 when he gets the 30 assists. That's what is better. The 24 to 17 or the 16 and 7. You know, it is what it is. The point that I'm saying, the only reason why I put that slide up there, it don't matter what the number is. It matters that him scoring the 30 doesn't hurt the team. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, let me keep it pushing out. Now, I want to talk about his playmaking really quickly. I'm not going to spend much time here. I did add to this his assist percentage. Now, once again, this brother gets a lot of flack. And it's this slide right here that helped me boost up Jalen Brunson's grade when I get to that at the end. I gave him an extra grade because of this slide right here. All right. So Jalen Brunson. Let me get the players. Okay, cool. Jalen Brunson clearly has made some strides as a playmaker. Earlier in the year, I argued that we don't have no evidence that Jalen Brunson passing the ball at a Steve Nash rate, which is 9+ assists, would greatly benefit would greatly benefit the team. But because of this stretch, this 10-game stretch, and the fact that he did win 7 games, right, playing, and he's averaging during this, Jalen Brunson is averaging 9.8 assists a game. First of all, salute to Jalen Brunson for doing that, because they said that he don't pass the ball. He's a chuck. In the last 10 games, Jalen Brunson is averaging 9.8 assists a game. He's 7-2 during this stretch. So that boosted this 9+ assists, because the last time we checked this stat, that he was 8-3 anytime he got 9 assists or more. Of course, he won 4 games, right? And he only lost 1. So he went 4-1 when he had 9 or more assists. Okay. And when he went under 9 assists, last time we checked, he was 29-15. So he basically went 2-2. Okay. 2-2. No, he went 5 and okay. So let me get my math right. So he went 5-1 and then 2-2 because he played 9 games. All right. Or 4-1, sorry. 4-1 and then 2-2 because he played 9 games. There you go. Bam. So that's the record. So because he went 4-1, it boosted his 9+ assist record. I still argue, though, that the 12-4 and 31-17 are still kind of the same thing. So, I mean, yes, we've had success with him passing the ball. I just think that's because this team is just a good team. I don't think it's because Brunson passed the ball. In fact, if I could go back really quickly to show you our best stretch of the season, and let's pull up his assist numbers there. Could we do that? The best stretch of the season was when we won the NBA Cup. All right. And I'm going to get those numbers for you. We went 8-6. That was right after the 8-2. So that was games 21 through 30. Let me see if I got it right here. 21 through 30. All right. Last 10 game averages. Let me pull this up. So when we looked in the last 10 games during that stretch, this is games 21 through 30. Our best stretch of the season, by the way, right? We went 8-2. And I got the numbers. Jalen Brunson averaged 6.4 assists a game. He played in 9 of the games, and I think they went 8-1 with him. Okay? So it wasn't the assists. And by the way, he averaged 32 points during this stretch. So my argument here is that it's not the assist that makes the team better. And I have proof to show that. My point, though, for this is showing that Jalen Brunson has range. And he could pass the ball and be somewhat of a Steve Nash if you really wanted him to. But I don't think that that necessarily is always best for the team. Now, when you look at his 6+ assists stats, it definitely went up tremendously. When we last looked at the 6+, he was 15-9. All right. That's up to 21-12. That means he won 6 games. He went 6-3 anytime he got 6+ assists. And then 21-10 was the last time he was there. And he still has that. So if you compare the numbers, 21-12 when he gets more than 6 assists, 21-10 when he gets under. Oh, wow. BYU got upset. BYU just lost, y'all. I just got the notification. Damn. Anyway, as I analyze this, you don't see a difference. My argument is still the same. Brunson does not have to be Steve Nash. He has the propensity to get more assists, but I don't think that makes the team better. And lastly, his assist percentage is up dramatically. He went from 29.9 to 40.4% in the last 10 games to go along with the 9.8 assists. And we do know that in the last 10 games, the Knicks are averaging just under 30 assists a game. That's why he has a very high assist percentage. All right. So Brunson is capable of moving the ball, but I still don't think that he has to be that. I'm going to blow through this Josh Hart slide. Josh Hart still, I mean, his record as a starter speaks for itself, 29-13. There's no reason to take this brother out of the starting lineup. 27-10 when he scores 10 or more. Just barely 500, above 500 when he gets under 10 points. I think Josh Hart is shown his value. And the Knicks record, this is the most important thing on this slide, is that Josh Hart is still propelling these guys ever since he's been instituted into the starting lineup for Mitchell Robinson. As far as Jose Alvarado, we had to take a little backseat on Jose. Jose kind of fell off just a little bit. You know what I mean? He fell off a little bit, maybe a lot of bit. Last time we checked, his plus minus was a plus 6.9. All right. His plus minus with Towns in the first 10 games is the same, I think, plus 6.6, I think. His plus minus was a plus 6.9, so he's a minus 1.5. His scoring is definitely down. In the first 8 games, he was he had 9.1 points, 1.8 steals, and 3.8 assists. At least his assist is up. But his shooting has been bad. But the Knicks record is 7-3. So, hey, I mean, he's not negatively impacting games. The reason why I have this slide here is I think Jose still deserves to be in the lineup. All right. By the way, he plays about 14.4 minutes with Karl Anthony Towns. All right. He had the one start where he had 16-10, and I think that boosted his assist up, by the way. That one game. OG and Jose is a plus 6.2. And Clarkson and listen to this, though. Jose and Clarkson are a plus 5.8 in 6.7 minutes. I think that's why Clarkson is instituted in the lineup, because they find value with him and Jose. And those are going to be your backup guards, but I don't understand why Mo Diawara still can't play. I don't like it. You know, that's why I say we got a big problem. As far as the best lineups, last year starting 5 is a minus 2.6 in 9 games with 3.9 minutes. This is really 8 games. I don't know why it shows as 9 games. It's really 8 because, hold on, let me see some. Oh, I'm on the light screen. My bad, y'all. My fault. Thank you, Zach, for that message, by the way. My bad, y'all. Hold on, really quickly. This is where I was at for Jose, by the way. These are the numbers I had on the screen, okay? All right? My fault. All right? And this is where I'm at now. All right? I'm looking at lineups, okay? Last year, starting 5. They played 8 games. I don't know why it says 9 on NBA.com. But they played 8 games. 13.9 minutes and minus 2.6. Last time we looked at this, they played 5 games, 15 minutes, plus 2.2. So, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, the starting lineup has been pretty shaky. We know that the first quarters, and I'm going to talk about the first quarters in a second. The first quarters were very rough at one point. But even though the plus minus is like this and you know, it is what it is with that, I still don't see no reason to change the lineup. I'm keeping it real. The best lineup, the best 5-man lineup is OG Anunoby, Hart, Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, Shamet. Big time salute to Mitchell Robinson finally making a lineup. This lineup is a lineup that they use usually like in the middle of quarters. So you'll see this lineup like maybe like when Towns comes out the game in the middle of the quarter is when you might see this lineup. The best 5 from last year, which I still think is the best 5, which is Cat, OG, Mo D, Alvarado, and Bridges. That was the best lineup last time. They actually were second place this time around as well. Their plus minus was like a plus 3.4. I still think that's the best lineup, by the way. And I don't think Mo Diawara deserves to be taken out of the rotation. As far as the best 4-man lineup, you got Big Bodega Cat, Josh Hart, Bridges, Alvarado. All right. They played 5.2 minutes together. I'm sorry, they were plus 5.2, 5.7 minutes, 3 and 2. All right. So the Towns, Alvarado, I'm glad to see them in a mix together. I think that they do need to play more minutes together. And so they could get more of a rhythm together. The best 3-man lineup is Josh Hart, Brunson, Shamet. Believe it or not. A lot of people think Shamet should be moved into the start lineup. So if you do, this is some ammunition for you. All right. They are plus 5.6. They play 11.9 minutes together. And they played 7 games. They're 4 and 3. All right. Best 2-man lineup is Shamet and Brunson. Believe it or not. Plus 10, 20.7 minutes. And they are 6 and 3. However, the lineup that plays the most minutes together is Brunson and OG. 27 minutes, 9 games, plus 3.9. Plus 3.9. These are the best lineups. Last time we looked at this, OG and Brunson, they still play the most minutes. But last time it was like 30 minutes. So these are some of the best lineups, all right? Let me keep it pushing. I did a special Jose Brunson slide. This used to be the Kolick Brunson slide, but I changed it to Jose Brunson because Kolick doesn't play no more like that. I think that is solid. Last time we looked at it, they were 5 and 3. Okay, and they were a plus 1.5 in just 3.2 minutes. All right. This time around, the minutes is pretty much the same, 3.2, but they went 6 and 2, and they are plus 1.8. Expect to see more Brunson Alvarado. I think it's an interesting combination, and because the plus minus is still solid, it's not a negative. I could see them going to this lineup. Now, here's my concern, y'all. I don't want to see the 3-guard lineup, 3-point guards. So when Deuce gets back, Jose, Brunson, Deuce. I hate it. That's my concern with seeing these two on the floor. He may want to add another guard. I don't want to see these two in Clarkson. I could give a damn about the plus minus, man. It's the cross matches, and it's the defense, and it's the rebounding. I don't think it's an effective lineup at all. All right. Uh-oh, double big lineup. All right. This is for all my double big lineup people who feel as though Mitchell Robinson should start. He should be out there. All right. I'm here to tell you that it's not as trash as it used to be. Hopefully, yeah, y'all should be able to see the slides now. All right. Yeah, y'all should be able to see the slides now. Now, hopefully, right? You know, I don't hope this doesn't think Mike Brown don't think that we should start the double big lineup. I still think it's trash. In the last game, they played together. They were a -8, and it almost cost us the goddamn game. That was against the Indiana Pacers. But overall, it's not that bad. Starting together is still 5-7 because we hadn't seen it since. At least Mike Brown got enough sense to know that you can't start them together. But look at the record since they've been apart. And a lot of that, not all of that, is Josh Hart. Plus minus in the last 6 games, plus 1.3 when we last looked at them. All right. They were 21-9 apart and plus 1.7. 6 games, 2.5 minutes. So their minutes have doubled. They are +2, not double, but they're +2. And they play 6 games together. But see, the key thing about this plus minus, and I don't want you guys to get hyped, is that they play better apart. And this is them playing in certain stretches off the bench together, not starting together. Please don't get it twisted. All right? You don't want to get your feelings hurt. Mitchettes. So I still think it's a bad idea. All right. As far as the trends, we're going to talk about some of the trends and things of that nature. All right. Now, during this stretch of time, we're 10-5. We have won 3 revenge tour games. That was against Indiana. That was against who else? Hold on. I'm gonna tell you who that was. Give me 2 seconds. I think it was Indiana. It was San Antonio. And it was against Golden State. So big time salute to the boys in orange blue. Usually we do a great job of avenging our losses. When we get into this next 10-game stretch, I'm taking that same energy to Oklahoma City. And I think that we can get Oklahoma City the next time we see them. I think it's in the Garden, right? Let me stat check that. Oklahoma City. Or is it at Oklahoma? I'm going to have to go on ESPN. But either way, whether it's at Oklahoma or in the Garden, doesn't make a goddamn difference. I think that we're going to get our revenge against them. As far as the total points in the third quarter, 100, that's a magical number. We did it twice during this game, this stretch of games, right? To win games. We did it against Denver one time, and we won 2 of these games. So we're now 11-2 during this stretch. And big time salute to the boys in orange and blue. I'm telling you, the offense is finding this groove. And I think that, we have the ranking to be a champion, man. And let me add this right here to this part while I'm talking about the rankings to be champions. I want to pull something that I looked up. Something that was very interesting. Because I'm a history guy, right? So I like to look at the champions. And our differential right now is a 6.5, right? Plus 6.5. So what this tells me is that we have a strong enough differential to win the championship. All right? Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics are the last 2 teams to win the championship. Listen to this, very important. They are the last 2 teams to win a championship with a differential of 10 plus. The last 6 champions before that had single-digit differentials. Our goal from a history standpoint, is for OKC to not make it to the finals. Because in the history of the NBA, no team in the finals has lost the finals to a team that had, when they were a double-digit differential, like, okay, Oklahoma City this year is 11, right? That's their differential. No team has lost a championship with a double-digit differential of 11 or 10 or more to a team that was single-digit in differential. This is why I don't even think OKC is going to get to the finals. I'm praying on it, but history has shown us that the team to win the championship doesn't go back to the finals for a lot of different reasons. I'm praying that happens this season. But prior to that, in 2023, the Denver Nuggets had a plus 3.3. Golden State had a plus 5.5. Milwaukee had a plus 5.9. LA Lakers had a plus 6.1. Toronto Raptors had a plus 6.0. Golden State had a plus 6.0. All of those teams, we right now have a better differential than all of those teams that we just mentioned. We can get it done right where we are. We just need to avoid the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because I'm just saying from a historic perspective, just to be compliant with history. All right? Continue to smash that like button, though. I do appreciate you guys. I'm not going to put the like slide back up there because I don't want to forget that it's on. And I got so many windows I'm looking at. But and there's another reason I want to add to the championship stuff, but I'm gonna keep pushing. So that's our third quarter. That when we get the 100 points in the third quarter, we did it twice during this stretch. Another thing too is the rebounding matchup. Now, last season, I'll go to last season on this one. Anytime we dominated the rebounding matchup differential, we were 35-10. Okay. This year, we're not as efficient as we were last year in terms of winning, but it's still pretty solid. We're 32-14 anytime we win the defensive the rebounding differential matchup. It's very important that we win these battles because we generally have success. Now, in the last 10 games, we've been out rebounding our opponent. And that's part of the reason why we've been so dominant. 7-3, no games under that mark. Our assist percentage, I added that to the slide as well. In the last 10 games is a 68%. That puts us in the top 6. We've been one of the best teams in assist percentage in the last couple of... The ball is moving. Contrary to popular belief, Brunson don't pass the ball. He's averaging the most assists in the stretch that I could ever remember. I've been doing this show for 3 years now. Not the show, but I've been tracking the Knicks in this way for 3 years now. I don't remember another stretch where Brunson has averaged 9.8 assists in the stretch. I really don't remember that. All right? And so, you know, the assist numbers are up tremendously. This is like the most ball movement we've seen. And I mean, I don't even think we've seen this much ball movement in the Coach Tibbs ever. This team is passing the ball at a high level. And our turnover ratio is pretty good. We top 10. Man, this team is efficient. And it's the assist as well that's boosting up our offensive rating. As far as three-point shooting, this is what I was trying to tell you. I was getting ready to come back to the three-point shooting. All right. We hadn't lost a game where we didn't shoot over 37.5% in the last 10 games. All right. In fact, in the last 10 games, where's my slide at? In the last 10 games, we are 3-0 when we shoot greater than 37.5%. We are now 27-6 when we shoot that at that rate from 3. Anytime we shoot under, we still manage to go 4-3, but it's a lot harder. All right. We got to get our 3-ball on track as well. Mikal Bridges, you got to help us there. By the way, on the assist percentage overall, we are now 13th at 64.3%. So a lot of these adjustments came later in the season. All right. Hold on. Oh, big time salute to my man Ty on the Cash App. He said, for great stats, great job. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate you. To all the people who donate, man, I do appreciate you guys, man. You guys are definitely, the fuel to this channel's engine, man. I'm just letting you know that. I really do appreciate that. This is what I do. I study the Knicks. This is why when y'all call up, there's a lot that I know, man. And to be honest, there's way more stats. I keep track of well over 100 stats. So there's way more stats I keep track of that's in this presentation. But I try to just keep it simple because I don't want to advance stat you guys to death. And I'm not the super advanced stat guy. But I'm telling you the trends that I'm noticing. I'm hoping that the size isn't an issue. I'm hoping I'm wrong on that. I really am. But honestly, I'm just going with the track record of what we've done. There's a reason why we took the brother Clausen out the line. I'm not saying to not put him back because I do want him back in there. He's helping with the offense. But don't take Mo Diawara out the lineup. I don't recommend it, man. I really don't. But Mike Brown, he's going to do what he has to do. Let me keep it pushing. Now, here is another interesting stat. Now, this is a stat that I have my own standard for. I think I've discovered that the NBA calls this winning record, losing record. I think that's what they call it. I'm at 100 on that. Either way, I keep track of this stat my way. Right? I don't follow what they say. Because I feel like, and I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about in a second. In the future slide that's coming up. But this right here is 5A-BA. That's what I call it. 5A-BA. 5A is 500 and above, and BA is below. All right. I'm sorry. 5A-B5. What I'm talking about. 5A-B5. All right. So 5A, 500 and above, B5 below 500. That's what I call it. Right. And I don't change the record after to reflect the team's new record. So here's what I mean. Chicago Bulls were the best team in the East for like the first 6 games. We played them twice. I didn't change their record once they went below 500. I keep it because I feel like you are what your record is. So I want to document you where you were, not where you're going to be in the future. Plus, if you do that, this number will never stay consistent. Right? So I do this to track our performance against teams that are playing well and teams that are not playing so well. Next year, I'm gonna go even deeper with this. I'm gonna do like the last 10 games. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go even deeper. All right. Anyway, nonetheless, because you know why? Because I feel like you're more of who you are in the last 10 games than overall too in a lot of cases. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Let me just keep it simple. All right. So we have had trouble against teams that are 500 and above. Last time we looked at this, we were 16 and 18. We went 3-3 in the last 10 games. That was the gauntlet that Alan Hahn referred to. And I'm going to tell you what the gauntlet was. It was San Antonio, Toronto, Oklahoma City, Thunder, Denver, and the 2 LA teams. That was the gauntlet. We went 3-3 during that stretch. We're now 19 and 21 against winning teams, as they would call it. I call it 5A teams. Okay. As far as below 500 teams, we're 26 and 4, very dominant against these teams. This is why I told y'all, see, look, I've been studying the Knicks, right? I know that we do really well against sub 500. Like really, like we dominate them. So when I see a stretch like Utah, Indiana, Golden State without Steph, Indiana, Brooklyn, we gonna kill this stretch. Told y'all that. When y'all was feeling bad with the LA losses, I'm saying, yo, man, we got an easy schedule. We're gonna get these wins back. Don't worry about it. And we're gonna catch Boston. I strongly do believe we're gonna catch Boston. Right? We just have too much momentum and the schedule is just too easy. I don't want to look at it like that, but it's just facts. Against 5A teams on the road, I'm adding a wrinkle. Salute to my man Sam on that, because my man Sam asked me like last year. He said, yo, what's your record? What's our record on the road against 500 and above teams? So I said, ooh, I'm going to keep track of that. So against below 500 teams on the road, okay, let me just make sure I'm in the right place. So on the road, we are 12 and 1. 12 and 1 on the road against below 500 teams. Against below 500 teams at home. So by the way, our home record is arguably better than our road record. We only got one loss on the road against a sub 500 team. Let that sink in and marinate. So where we going? We going to Washington? No, we going to Charlotte. Well, Charlotte's an above 500 team, but we're going to Brooklyn. But that doesn't really count. You know, whatever below 500 teams we got on the road going forward. Just remember, you heard me say 12-1, and more than likely, an overwhelming strong majority of the time we win. And by the way, I think Vegas be looking at this too, because when you see that minus 13.5, minus 14.5 on the road against a bad team, is because the Knicks are crushing it on the road against these teams. At home against these teams, we're 14-3. 3 bad losses. I think Indiana was one of them, right? We lost to Indiana at home. I think we lost to Dallas at home with Cooper Flag. And we lost to Atlanta at home. This is when they were below 500. See, now I technically could take Atlanta off the list because Atlanta is above 500. But when we lost to them, they were below 500. I'm not changing that. I'm not. You are what your record is at the time. I'm not changing that. So against 5A teams, and this is why I keep preaching when I preach, and I've been saying this all year because I've been tracking it all year. Against 500 and above teams, we're 11-6. 11-6 on at home against 500 and above teams, okay? On 500 and above teams on the road, we are 7-15. But I do want to say this, because people think that we have trouble on the road. No, we don't, because we beat the sub 500 teams on the road, but we have trouble against 500 and above teams on the road. But I do want to say this, all right? We started out, I just want to show you the progress of this team and why I'm confident going into a postseason. So on the road against 500 and above teams, I just want to tell you what the record was. We're now 7-15, right? We started out on the road 1-11. We started out on the road 1-11. We're now at 7-15. So that means since we last looked at this, we went 6-4, okay, in the last 10 games. The Knicks have turned it around on the road against good road teams. And I think that's what tipped us over the scale on the road, period, because we started to win against these guys on the road. And having this momentum now, it's better to then have lost those games, be 1-10 in the last 11, start out 6-4. Do you see that? Like, we're hitting certain milestones at certain times that I think is monumental to our growth and progress forward as a team that's on the quest for a championship. The closer we're getting to the end of the season and our performance, particularly on the defense, has been the way it has been, I am truly confident that this team could win the championship. Like, seriously, like I really do believe it, that we have a really good chance to get it done. And I can't wait to see this team, you know, progress. This team, to me, based on rankings, accomplishments, we're better than last year. We're better. Like, if I look at 70 games this season and I compare it to last season, we were never a number 1 defense last year. Never. We were number 3 offense, but we lost our spot. We never lost our number 3. I've been watching it. I'm like, oh my God, the offense is slipping. No, it's not. It's safe to say that this team is better than last year's team. I know we got a ways to go, and we'll come back for game 80. But I'm telling you, man, it's looking really good for the boys in orange and blue. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fanboy, because I got a lot of numbers. All right, look, another thing, too. So we're top 6 offense, top 6 defense. In the last 40 years, 40, 37 of the champions were top 10 offense, top 10 defense. We're going to fall right into that. I believe in history, and I don't disrespect the basketball gods. It is what it is. You could try to make it what you want it to be, but I'm just keeping it real. Let me keep it pushing. All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Because I could go, this tells a whole story too. What I will say is I'm going to talk about the third quarter really quick. When we lead after the third quarter, we're 39-2. We did lose to Oklahoma City. Okay, they are the ones that took this record away from us. We had the lead in Oklahoma City, had a 40-point quarter going into the fourth. I was very confident in that Oklahoma game because I see numbers when you see basketball. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, we could do it. But Oklahoma City is a great team, and they managed to come back and shut us down in the fourth quarter, as I've seen Oklahoma City do all year. And you know, the third quarter has been on the money except for that one blemish against San Antonio and the other blemish against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But outside of that, usually when we have the lead going into the fourth quarter, we're 39-2. That's a very powerful stat. So when you see us go into that fourth quarter with the lead, you can almost bank on a victory. As far as the first quarter, that's what we need to talk about. First quarters have been an issue for this team. All right. First quarters has definitely been a big time issue for this team. All right. Big time salute to everybody who's in the building. By the way, continue to smash that like button. All right. I'm not going to put the light screen up because I might forget to take it down. But if you didn't smash that like button, you gotta smash it right now. All right. But I want to talk about the first quarter. All right. See, I might just give you my opinion. I'm giving you the numbers. I'm not just giving you my thoughts on the Knicks. Oh, the Knicks, da-da-da-da. No, these are numbers I've been keeping track of. Oh, I keep track of well over 100 stats. And to the people who got the 82 nights, y'all know. All right? To the people who got the 82 nights, y'all know. You know what? By the way, before I'm gonna continue this slide. You know, I forgot about the 82 nights. I gotta take care of that. Hold on. I'm gonna get back to this. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta share with you guys the playoff edition. All right, hold on. So as you see on the screen, I got the playoff edition right there. Bam, right? So I do want to show you guys, or tell you guys about this playoff edition journal. Okay. It's brand new. It's the latest addition to the 82 night series. Right. And you can go get it right now. It's in my Linktree / The Objective Fan. It's on sale for a limited time. It's going to be gone very, very soon. I'm only doing this for a limited time because it's a special edition. But I want to ask you a question. How many playoff moments have we lived through that we wish we wrote down? That's why I made Game Night, the playoff edition. It's a fan journal built for the postseason. Bracket tracker, series previews, game night memories, reflections, everything. It's a way to experience the playoffs on a whole different level. If you're interested, the link is in the description and on the screen. Linktree / The Objective Fan is on sale for a very limited time, free shipping, and it will arrive to your door right before the playoffs begin. All you have to do is go to Linktree / The Objective Fan to expand your basketball knowledge beyond the horizon. And I look forward to seeing you guys inside the 82 Nights Club. All right. So big time salute to people who already bought this version of the 82 Nights. You get access to well over 100 stats that I keep track of. So those people who have this know I keep track of a lot of stats, boy. A lot. And so when I look at these numbers, right? And I get to the first quarters, because I've been keeping track of the quarters, and I still do keep track of the quarters. But the one thing I'm noticing is that in the last couple of games, we've been a little better. But the problem still remains that in the last 6 first quarters, we've only won 2 of them. Okay? Even though we did go 4-6, we still only won 2 of the last 4 first quarters. Now, We still have time to rectify it. I'm praying that we do. This would be the one thing that may hold us back into a postseason. But this Knicks team showed you their ability to come back. We seeded down 20 points. So you can't ignore that fact too. I do think that the first quarter is a very, very important place for us to really work on right now as we develop this team and we continue to grow as an organization. Because anytime we trail after the first quarter, we are 18-19. Okay, that's what, 37 games where we lost the quarter. So now we're going into the rest of the game at a deficit, and that's hurting us. All we got to do is fix the first quarters. Now, we did kind of show some promise against Indiana that time, but I argue that while we got the offense we needed, we scored at 38 points. Indiana still scored 34 points. And the game was getting out of hand, but we made adjustments in the third and then blew them out by the fourth, so that thwarted anything. But, you know, the defensive rating of that game was still 114. Not the most impressive. It's not the worst, but it's not the most impressive either. Not for a team whose defensive rating in the last 10 games is a 111. Not for a team who averages a 113 on the year. So, yeah, I'm just saying the first quarters are something that does concern me slightly, but I don't think it's the end of the world. And I think we'll be all right. All right, let me keep it going. This is some of the opponent stats. I keep track of way more opponent stats than this. I'm gonna say this. Usually, you know, when the opponent shoots less free throws, we are better. Anytime they shoot less than 21.7. By the way, the 21.7 again is the league average. That's why I use that number. We are 21-17. Okay. When they shoot greater than that, we're 24-18. So we're still winning regardless, but it's better when we don't send them to the line. So we've been more aggressive defensively recently. So we've been fouling a little bit more, not that much more, but we do got to curb our fouls. Okay, in the last 10 games, we're about 19.5 fouls a game. I mean, that's not the worst, but you know, it's still a lot to be fouling teams. And in fact, I'm wrong. We are bottom 10. I just remembered it. We're bottom 10 overall in fouls. So, you know, this line stuff, we got to watch it. Towns is the number one perpetrator on fouls. What was the stat? I think we're 4-12 or something like that when he gets over 5 fouls. We got to watch this. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something to keep an eye on, to be kind of cautious. Let me just make sure I'm still on the PowerPoint. Okay, cool. Well, my fault. Hold on, y'all. My fault. Let me just put this right here. Okay, cool. No, let me just get rid of me for now. Bam. All right, cool. All right, so that's the number so y'all can see it. All right. As far as the opponent 3-point percentage, you know, when the opponent is shooting greater than 36.2%, we are 17-19. The three ball has a propensity to hurt us, you know, and shockingly, we managed to overcome, you know, team shooting great in the last 3 wins. In the last 3 games, which were the last 3 wins, the opponent has shot greater than 36.2% from 3, and we managed to overcome it. But it's still something that we need to be mindful of. Yes, we got lucky during this stretch, but we don't want to make this a habit. The Jordan Clarkson, the Kolick, it hurts our defense. Who's to my man Khalil, by the way, who sent a very nice donation the other night. He did the research, and he's seen exactly what I was talking about. The reason why they took Tyler Kolick out the lineup and Clarkson, it drastically improved the defense. It literally right after that, we became the number 1 defense. Now that they're back in the rotation, right? And I don't want to blame them because it's not their fault. Like I'm putting it on them. It's just that you lose your edge defensively. And usually when he plays them together and it creates smaller lineups. That's why I said the video I did the other day about the big problem. All right. We got to watch that. I think Mo Diawara should stay in the rotation. All right, just for size and defensive purposes. But yeah, we got to watch that 3 ball. Another thing too about the 3 ball. The reason why they shot so well from three is because of the size. And the fact now you have defenders who are not as prolific on the floor. So now you got to help these guys out. And when you're helping these guys out, what happens? The ball rotates and they hit threes. Utah is a very good assist team. They have a very high assist percentage. Same thing with Indiana. Not recently, but overall, these teams are pretty proficient at moving the ball. That's why these are the two of the three teams that shoot well against us. Okay? Same thing with Golden State. You could say the same thing with Golden State. So we got to be mindful of that going forward. And top 10 defense, once again, the defense is phenomenal, man. I'm sorry, this is not the defense slide. I'm getting to that. This is our record against the top 10. I'm jumping the gun. Top 10 defenses, we're 13-11. Top 10 offenses, we're 11-9. Top 10 pace, we're 15-7. Top 10 3-point percentage, we're 13-8. Big time salute to the boys in orange and blue for doing well against the top teams. I think that this is just a credit to our defense, right? And our ability to score the ball, being able to do multiple things, keeping the defense honest. It's helping us perform against the elite teams. Where we really do best against is teams that play fast. I think the reason why we do well against these teams because we kind of play a little faster too. We kind of like chameleon. We talk about the identity, right? I want to add this to the conversation, and I'm gonna say something that you may have never seen or heard before. I think that our identity is we are a two-way team whose defense is just as good as this offense. And we like to beat you. I don't want to say at your own game, but we just a diverse two-way team that can beat you in many different. Let me just say it like that. Yeah, we can beat you in many different ways. We can play fast. We can play slow. We probably have one of the best half-court offenses in basketball. That's not me being a fanboy. That's me watching a lot of basketball. And I still don't think the offense is as good as it could be. That's the scary part for the league. But this defense is phenomenal. I say our identity is we are a two-way team that can beat you in a variety of ways. That is our identity. Our defense is just as good as our offense. I got way more than enough data to corroborate that point. Our defense is so goddamn good, they thought it was a top 5 defense. And how many times you heard people say that, yo, we the only team with us and the Spurs to be top 5? No, Boston is ahead of us. Hi, Boston. Yes, I watch Boston all day. I pay a lot of attention to the Celtics. Pretty much know everything about you guys. But no, we don't have the top 5 offense. And top 5. Well, we have a top 5 off, but we don't got a top 5 defense. We got a top 6 defense, top 6 offense. Is that fair, y'all? Let me know if I'm tripping. We're a two-way team that can beat you in a variety of ways. Look out for people to start saying that. And if they start saying that, they got that from me because I didn't get that from nobody else. Because according to everybody else, we don't got a goddamn identity. All right? Let me keep it pushing. Now, this is the defensive slide. This is my favorite slide. Let me tell you something. When we talk about defense, man, we are one of the best defenses in, like, our defense is so goddamn good, man. First off, our paint defense is, dog, like, y'all don't understand. Like, we are stingy with, hold on, who was that the other night? We played against somebody the other night. They had like 18 paint points. I'm like, huh? 18 paint points? Do you remember last season when they walked into the paint and everybody was like, damn, Towns don't play no goddamn defense? Y'all remember that? What happened this year? I think I could put me back on the screen. What happened this year? The defense is phenomenal. This is the last 10 games. This is why I told you about the big problem, because I'm looking at this number right. You see that 108? It was 105 before the last like 3 or 4 games. So I'm looking at this 105 that went up to 108, and I'm like, damn, we got a big problem. Because I see the shift in the lineup. I'm like, Mike, don't forget why you made the change. Do not get away from this defense. It's stingy in the paint and devastating on the glass. We are one of the best rebounding teams overall in basketball. Very few teams I would put ahead of us. Very few. Because not only do we do a great job on the glass ourselves, we do a great job nullifying the opponent. See, that's the other component that people ignore. But the defensive rating has been phenomenal. Overall, 113. That puts us at 6. Ooh, Luka had 60. Damn, what the hell's going on tonight? Luka had 60? Damn. Listen, I told y'all, yo, the Lakers, I don't know. They are like the Matrix, dog. Like, they defy the odd. They are the ones, dog. They are the anomaly. No defense whatsoever. But they got Luka. That's the greatest X factor right there. And the Lakers are going to show y'all how to win a championship in like the next 2 or 3 years. But that's a whole nother topic. I want to talk about these Knicks because we're trying to get a championship this year, not next year. This year. Lakers don't got this. Look at the opponent pain points, y'all. Do y'all see that? Look at the opponent pain points. Last 10 games, it was a 43.8 the last time. It's down to 39.2. We are not giving up no 2-point buckets, bro. It's not happening. This is during the gauntlet. This is during San Antonio, Toronto, Oklahoma City, Denver, Los Angeles again. This is including those 6 games. This is what we managed to do. The gauntlet, as they called it. So don't just look at the 2 Indiana games and the Utah. Don't just look at those games. Look at the first 6 games that are a part of this. We did this. We've been doing this against good competition and bad competition. We held the Oklahoma City Thunder in a loss to 103 points. Our defense has been phenomenal. The Lakers, the Clippers are the only team to concern me when they scored the 126. Every other team, I thought we did phenomenal against. Even the Lakers, 110, we could live with that. The 110 is not a lot of points, especially when a team is getting 117, 119 in the last 10 games. So I am telling you right now, you look at that opponent points, that 105.2, you look at that second chance points, we are a devastating defensive rebounding team, and our identity is a two-way team that can beat you in a variety of ways. That is our identity. We're not just an offensive team. We're not just a this, that team. We are officially a two-way team, and they can't deny this because this has been going on for the past 26 games. We have made a complete 360 on defense. All right? These are the grades, all right? These are the grades. Let me get me out the way. All right? Now, once again, this is not the entire season grade. I'm probably the only person that does these types of grades. I grade in 10-game increments. So this is based off of their performance in the last 10 games. This is not based on the regular season performance. So please don't get confused. Don't say, oh, why did you rate this guy that? I'm rating him based on what I've seen in the last 10 games. Now, Jalen Brunson probably should be a B+. But I gave Jalen Brunson a B. because I felt like I took away a grade and I gave a grade. I took away the grade because I felt like he's listening to other people, and Brunson's trying to be like Steve Nash, or I don't know what he's trying to be. Jalen Brunson during this stretch, 23.8 points, which is a low. That's minus 2.4 on his season average, right? He's shooting 37% from three, only 41.9% from the field. Yeah, that's a demerit, Brunson. All right. 9.8 assists, 2.9 turnovers. Okay. I take that. That boosted his grade up. His assist percentage at 40 in the last 10 games also kind of boosted his grade up. But yeah, he's the captain, so I got to make an example out of him. It's not the worst stretch of games. I mean, his field goal percentage is down for sure. That should bring him down a notch. But he probably should be a B+, but I'm giving him a B. Josh Hart in this stretch. I think Josh Hart was the best Knick during this stretch. I'm keeping it real. The only other person you could argue is OG Anunoby. But Josh Hart, to me, incredible. During this stretch, 13.8 points per game. He's shooting 59% from the field, 41.7% from three on 3 attempts. Okay? He's shooting 57% from the free throw line. Got to get that up. I could have hit him with that. But I'm gonna let him do his thing, right? I'm not gonna penalize him on the free throws. 9 rebounds. All right. His assists are down, but he's getting buckets, so I'm not tripping. But his turnovers are down 1.5. 1 steal a game, only 2.6 fouls. He's a plus. I gave him an A. I felt like Josh Hart's impact was just phenomenal. I think he does so much that's not on the stat sheet. He's filled in a serious void in a game we could have lost against Indiana. I just loved his performance during this stretch. I love his lack of hesitation during this stretch. He attempted only 10 field goals a game, 9.8 to be precise, and he boosted up his scoring to 13.8. I thought Josh Hart was phenomenal. He deserves an A. I was gonna give him an A- just because I'm a stickler, but I said, screw it. Let me give him the A. Shamet. What about Shamet? Now, in defense of my client, Mikal Bridges, Landry Shamet has not been the best him goddamn self. All right? Yes, he's averaging 9 points a game on 25.9 minutes in the last 10, but Landry Shamet is shooting 40% from the field and 36.3% from three. Okay? That's horrible. He's shooting worse than Mikal Bridges. Now, I was going to bring that up at the trial, but I was cooking so much for my client, I felt like I didn't have to throw nobody else under the bus. But to all the people who want Shamet to start, Shamet is not playing better than Mikal Bridges. He's not. He's not shooting the ball better. He's not. Shamet, I know he's not getting paid as much. I know we didn't trade the 5 picks. I know, okay. The bottom line is he is not the guy who starts over Bridges. All right? 9 points on 8 field goal attempts. All right? He's not giving us much of anything else. But the only reason why I made him a B- instead of a C+ is because he was a plus 8.3. I think that's the best on the team. Shamet had the best plus minus on the team at plus 8.3. I felt like, I got to boost him because he's having a lot of great moments with Brunson and Hart. Those 3 are like the best 3-man lineup, plus minus wise. And they play a lot of time together. So I say, just for plus minus, I won't make him a C+. I'll give him a B just for that. Only because of that. Outside of that, he would have been a C+. My client, Mikal Bridges. I was going to make him a B-, but I feel like my client, his shooting is really bad, and I can't defend 38.8% from the field, 30% from 3 on 10 field goal attempts. I can't defend 0.8 free throws, even though he is shooting 75% from the free throw line. Okay, I can't defend that. But I do take the 4.2 assists. He's doing a lot. The 4.2 rebounds, my fault. which doesn't boost him up a lot. His assists are down at 2.8. That's another reason why I dropped him. Okay. His turnovers are still down though, and he's not really doing much else to impact the game to me. He is a plus 4.1, but the poor shooting is what dropped him tremendously. The defense, I think, is still solid, even though he did get cooked in a couple of games. I gave him a C plus. He'll be all right. I think Mikel could get his grade up in the next 10 games up to a B. I just think it's easy. Just hit a couple of shots. You'll be fine. Deuce McBride is incomplete because he's been out. Mitchell Robinson, B plus. Now, he could have been an A minus. He could have been in the A range, but the problem with Mitchell Robinson is I don't like him missing games for load management. So I took a point for that. Yeah, I'm petty like that. Also, his scoring is up to 6.6 points per game. He is shooting 76.5% from the field on 4 shots, but he's still not taking enough shots for me. He should have been closer to 10 points. His free throws is trash, 16.7% from the line. That brings you down. His rebounding is good, 9.6. I'm not mad at that. Okay. But he's 0.6 on blocks, 1.4 steals, plus 5.5. It's solid. I gave him a B plus, but I thought that he should score more. And his free throw shooting is just too terrible for me to give him the A minus that he probably does deserve. As far as OG Anunoby, phenomenal. Like I say, he and Josh Hart to me were the best 2 Knicks during this stretch. I feel like OG Anunoby, he's averaging just under 20 points per game, 33 minutes, okay? He's shooting 12 field goals a game. He's shooting 55% from the field, 47.5% from 3, okay? He's getting to the line 4 free throws a game and 80, damn near 90% from the free throw line, all right? 5.6 rebounds a game. I love it. Even though he's not a great rebounder, we hope that he could get more rebound, but that's just not the case. Let's see. His steals is 1.4. His blocks are 0.5, but that's fine. He's not really a shot blocker, but he has the second highest plus minus on the team at a plus 7.4. I thought that he was definitely an A. He stepped up in a lot of big games. He stepped up in the game that Brunson wasn't there. His scoring has been phenomenal. His shooting has been phenomenal. His defense has been phenomenal. He's an A. Clear cut, bona fide A, no debate. Big Bodega Cat is also in the A range, but I didn't give him an A because I am a stickler. So I gave him an A minus. He probably could have been an A. 31 minutes, 20.8 points. I felt like if he was averaging like 23 or more, I would have gave him an A. Because this is Big Bodega Cat. 14 shots, so he's getting a little bit more shots, I guess. 14 shots than he has in recent times. He's shooting 58.7 from the field. His 3-ball is 33.3%. Yeah. 3.7 attempts. Your attempts are down. Your 3-point shooting is down slightly, even though your field goal percentage is up. That's another reason why I kind of docked him a grade as well. His free throws is just 3.9. I feel like Cat should get 6 free throws a game. He is shooting 80% from the line, 12.7 on the glass, 3.3 assists. I like that. I would love to see the assists get closer to 5, though, but I take the 3.3 assists for his role in the offense. 2.1 turnovers are kind of nasty. And another reason why I didn't want to bring him down to a B+, but I almost did, he's averaging 3.7 fouls a game. Yeah. So the boy's still getting into a little bit of foul trouble, but he's a plus 3.8. So I thought that was phenomenal. So I gave him an A minus. Though you could argue B+, to be real. Jordan Clarkson, I gave him a B+. I love Jordan Clarkson. I've been calling for him to be back in the rotation. And I feel like he has made the most of his opportunities. He's only played 7 games, 15.4 minutes, but he's averaging 10 points. So he's a plus like 1 point. No, he's a plus 2.3 or something like that in points on the season, right? He's shooting 56.6% from the field. Jordan Clarkson shooting 43% from 3 on 2.3 attempts. That is fire. I love it. He's shooting 89% from the line, only getting to the line 1.3 times, but it's okay. He's a bench warmer. But outside of that, he's not really doing much, and his defense is still suspect. But he is a plus 7.4. You could argue A- for Clarkson, but I gave him a B+. Okay, I gave him a B+. Mo Diawara, I gave him a B-. He kind of find himself getting less time. He played garbage minutes the last couple of games. His minutes are down to 14.4. He is averaging 6.1 points. His three-point shooting is dipped. He's down to 34.2% on 3.8 attempts during the last 10 games. He only is shooting 37.1 from the field. That's because he shoots a lot of three balls and a lot of perimeter shots and a lot of tough layups. 2.1 rebounds. I can't kill him on the other stats because he's getting limited minutes and limited time. So because of that, I gave him a B-. Tyler Kolek, I just gave it incomplete. Even though he played 6 games, I feel like he's just in garbage time. So I didn't give Tyler Kolek a grade. I felt like that would have been fair. As far as some of the storylines, big time salute to everybody in the building. If you watched it, if you stayed with the entire program, smash that like button for sure. Let me just make sure we're looking at the same screen. I'm just going to read off some of the storylines from this period of time. And by the way, to all the 82 nice people, this is a section from the journal. It's called the 10-game review section. So that's what this whole show was from. Of course, I give you way more stats than the average person would keep track of. But this is something to keep your eye on. All right. So some of the things that happened, Yabusele, no, I'm in the wrong storyline. My bad. So these are some of the things that have some of the storylines. All right. Knicks lose, but held OKC to 103 points. Jordan Clarkson had a season high, 27 points against the Utah Jazz in a return to Utah off the bench. All right, Knicks blow out the #1 offense in Denver and only hold them to 103 points. Bridges' disappearing acts rages on continuously in terms of him shooting the ball, not defensively. The Knicks lose to both of the LA games. Josh Hart has 33 points, 90% field goal percentage. The only other people to do that was Walt Bellamy, Willis Reed, and Bernard King. The Knicks are 3-3 in the gauntlet against 500 and above teams. All right. The Knicks have come back from 21 points against the Warriors to win. And Mike Brown talks about the slow first quarters as people complain that the Knicks are getting off to very, very slow starts. All right. Big time salute to my man AP on the super chat. He says, trouble in Detroit. What's up now? See what happens? No healthy K. They got no chance. There are steps. We went 2 hours. Now you go through yours. You know what? That's a fact. Unfortunately, this is a part of growing as a team. You're going to have these setbacks. We've had our own setback. We've seen Randall get hurt, right? We've had very unfortunate scenarios. OG got hurt. We've seen a lot of injuries come at crucial times. And unfortunately, Detroit, this is one of the things that they have to go through. Of course, we don't wish bad on Cade Cunningham, but at the same time, the story aligns itself in a way where you have to go through growing pains in order to win a championship. The Detroit Pistons are not a threat to the Knicks. I never thought they were, and I still don't think they are. Even if Cade comes back for the playoff time, I think that Detroit, this is a part of their growing pains. And AP, I think they'll be back, better next season. Okay, that's just how I have to see it. Unfortunately for them, this is just where they, where their path has taken them. Once again, if you didn't smash that like button, please smash that like button. All right, I do appreciate you guys for rocking with me. I will be back tomorrow for the blue and orange brunch, and we got the game tomorrow. Even though it's the Brooklyn Nets, it's good to see some, Knicks basketball again. It felt like 2 weeks, but I do appreciate you guys. That's all I got for you. And until next time, as always, let's go Knicks.